Welcome back to Medinare. In this video, let's discuss about first, second and third order bends in orthodontics. But before getting into that, we need to know about Edgewise appliance. What is Edgewise appliance? Edgewise appliance is a fixed orthodontic appliance and it was Edward Angle's last contribution to orthodontics. It was done in the year 1928. Angle devised this metal bracket which had a rectangular slot of dimension 0.22 inches cross 0.28 inches which faces labially. This is the diagrammatic representation of the bracket. Here is the horizontal slot through which the wire is going to pass. Here this is a rectangular slot within which we can place round wires also, but placing rectangular wires in the rectangular slot will provide the active tooth movement. In Edgewise appliance, tooth movement happens in all the three planes. The unique feature of having a rectangular wire in a rectangular slot enabled controlled movement of tooth in all the three planes of space. For this purpose, Angle described the use of an ideal arch wire that incorporated certain bends called as first order bend, second order bend and third order bends. So let's discuss about each bend in detail. So now let's look at the first order bends. First order bends are also known as in-out bends or primary bends. They correct differences which are present in the buccolingual direction. So here you can see this is the molar, here is a premolar, here is another premolar, here is your canine and here is your lateral incisor, right? And we have placed all the edgewise brackets on the labial surface of the tooth. Now this particular premolar is located palatally or lingually in comparison with the adjacent tooth, right? And here we need to place this bend in such a way that this tooth, which is lingually placed or palatally placed, moves buccally. So we are planning to move this particular tooth forward in alignment with all these other teeth. Alright, so this is the first order bend. Now let's move on to the second order bends. The second order bends are placed to achieve correct mesiodistal axial inclination of the teeth. They comprise tip back bends placed in the posterior segments. They are also known as secondary bends. In this diagram, you could able to appreciate the brackets which are placed on the labial surface of the teeth as we discussed in the first order bend as well. The long axis of this tooth, this particular premolar, is tilted towards the distal side. So to bring it back to the mesial side or to bring it back to the normal inclination of that tooth in correspondence with its normal torque, we have to place a bend in the archwire that we are going to insert in the horizontal slot in such a way that it changes its inclination, okay, the mesiodistal axial inclination. Here this is the long axis of this first premolar. It has to be converted into this inclination. For that we are using the second order bends when we place the arch wire. Okay, this is the second order bends. Now let's move on to the third order bends. Okay, these are known as tertiary bends. We all know by now that the teeth in its natural position is not straight. They have certain degrees of mesiodistal inclination and also certain degree of labiolingual inclination. So by doing this fixed appliance treatment, the normal axial inclination of teeth would be disrupted. So in order to bring back to the original look, okay, the original form, we need to give certain bends in the arch wire at the finishing stage, right? So consider this as an arch wire, okay? This is the rectangular arch wire and here is the top view and here is the side view. So before you engage this wire in the slot, horizontal slot of this bracket, we need to do a bend and this is that bend. They are twists in the arch wire that create torque forces on the tooth. Okay, so this is going to create the torque forces on the tooth. So we are going to twist it and insert it inside the slot. So it's not possible to fit it directly here, right? So we have to give a twist in this before you insert it into the slot. This is very important for controlling root movement while correcting the crown angulation. Third order bends produces the buccolingual position of the tooth by moving the roots and it is given at the stage of finishing. Let's look at the advantages, okay? In edgewise technique, we can move a single tooth in all the three planes and we can get a good control over the tooth movement. Bodily tooth movement is possible as well as there is precise finishing. In this technique, we need to apply heavy forces And there is also need for complex wire bending because it is quite easy to study and understand what is really happening, and it takes a lot of practice to actually apply it in the real life scenario. Because of this reason, we have lots of modifications which we will be studying in separate videos in future. And that is about the first, second and third order bend in fixed appliance in orthodontics, especially in Edgewise appliance. Do like this video and subscribe to Medinare for more. Thanks for watching.